Oh.
What was you saying, Chef?
No, I was just saying if your work, if we're gonna do the whole thing over so that they have clarity, you're gonna
No, it's we talking about the Kevin Lee.
okay.
There you go.
Or you just say that he wants the special
I can
treatment,
speak for
like
myself.
oh,
Oh, if y'all not caught up with the Kevin Lee, he was showing, yeah, all that shit. Go ahead.
All that shit. But yeah, no, like yes, I do. I want preferential treatment. Yes. If I roll up to some shit, I don't want to have to sit in a line waiting on them goddamn line. No, I don't. I don't. So feel free to sit me and some guests because of the name, my name, somebody else's name. Yes. Period.
So Tori's talking about this guy from TikTok, Kevin Lee. He went to some restaurants in Atlanta. He had his family go in first to see if they would get service, and then when he walked in, things would change. They started this whole conversation of getting preferential treatment where you places you go.
And he
Uh,
rejected it.
he rejected it.
Right.
Would you call that elitism? No.
I think well,
I wouldn't call it elitism. I would call it privilege. Privilege doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean elitism. I mean, I'm not looking down on anybody else. However, I feel like
If you want to pull out the red carpet for me, pull out the red carpet.
and I also like just to give more context, like I believe that like in my life where I'm at now, I am all about convenience. If it's not convenient for me, I'm not doing it. If it's
Yeah.
convenient for me, if it makes sense for me in my life, then I'll do it. And so it's not convenient for me to wait 30 minutes to an hour for a fucking table. It's just not. And I'm okay with that. It is what it is. And I recognize that it comes with privilege. We can disagree with it all we want to, but the way that America works is that if you have a certain level of access, you get certain level of privileges. That is the way that it is, right? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, right? I've been on both sides. I've been on the side of bitch. I've waited in line. I've also experienced. It's sort of like Steve Harvey said before that, like save up your money and to fly first class. Because
Mhm.
once you fly first class, you will never want to fly in economy again.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
a fact. And you don't want to fly in economy again because of the level of there's a certain level of access, there's a certain level of privilege that you exist in that you get access to when you're in first class. I ain't gotta worry about a drink. I ain't gotta worry about a goddamn seat and being comfortable and somebody leaning on me or the discomfort of the seats. Like all of that is present in first class. It's the same kind of a thing. Like I've busted my ass to get where I'm at in my career. And
Hmm.
so if somebody knows who I am and want to give me a certain access because of who I am, I'm going to fucking take it. I
Hmm.
am. Call
and
it what you want to call it, but it's the truth.
I agree to a certain extent. As a chef, if I wear my chef coat out to eat, I know I'm going to get good service. I know the service is going to be amazing. The chef might come out as a chef. If
Why you
your
wear your
job
chef coat out?
is I'll go straight from work if I have to meet
Oh,
up with friends or like family if we're doing something for someone, and
Or let's
it's easier for me
yeah.
to meet up with them straight from work than to come home,
Or if
change,
I
and
just
then
wanted people to know that like I got a certain level of fucking access. That like
mm.
me this chef coat means that I have a certain level of understanding about how you serve me food
right.
that you ain't gonna come incorrect when you serve me fucking food.
Right, but
Mm.
if your job is now to be a reviewer, or let's say your job was to be a private, what they call it, the private diners, or like whatever you want to call it. If that's your job, it's now tainted if they know that it's you,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's not going to be their true service. It's not going to be how every Joe Schmo would get their food. So I
Yeah.
agree with what he did 1,000,000%, um, a trillion%, because
I
he
agree.
can't give an honest review on what the restaurant was, the one that he was at, because they went from you have his mother
His family, the
who
whole
he
family.
you know what I mean,
Been
his
in there.
mother, they just told his mother she had 2 hours to wait. But then he walks up and there's a table available in
5
4
minutes.
minutes. I'm good off that. I'm good off
Oh,
that.
now
I'm
I'm with you when you're right. Now
I'm
that
good.
I'm with you when you're right.
And
I'm
that's
with you
all
when you're
I
right.
was saying. That's all I was saying was that I
Oh,
understand why
absolutely.
he did. You know what he did, and we all want to be privileged. Like Cardi B said, I tell my people to name drop sometimes, so my food will come faster, so that I'll get like like
Yes.
we all want to, of course. But
Mhm.
if it's not our job, and what I'm saying with him was I appreciate that he takes that serious and he takes that responsibility. He takes it serious to say, okay,
Mhm.
well, I want to give an honest review. I want to give
Yeah.
an honest
Mhm.
view of what your services are, what
Yeah.
your food tastes like, what the quality of your
Mhm.
stuff is from an honest place. And it's tainted now if you see me and all of a sudden you got lobster. But
Agreed.
before you only had tuna.
I agree.
I'm good.
I mean, I'm just saying too that like I'm talking about what Torian wants, not what Kevin Lee desires. I'm
Right,
talking about what
no, right,
Torian
Yeah.
wants. Bitch,
right.
give me the goddamn seat me down in 5 minutes when I walk into the goddamn seat. Even
Me
when I
too.
went to when I went to LA this summer for a work event, I ended up meeting someone who is a well-known like you know in the music industry, and we all hung out.
Mhm.
And we went to these clubs in LA in WeHo, and like me and my best friend, we were like, bitch, we're going to the back of the line because that's just the access that we have. He was like, no, we're not. Just follow me. And literally, we got to the front of the line. He got to security. And when I tell you, as smooth as silk, this motherfucker moved us into the club just by his presence and the way he didn't name drop. He didn't say who he was. He literally just showed up like, no, bitch, I'm a bitch with good access and that you need to let me in this bitch, period. And so for me, yes, bitch, I'm never gonna deny, never decline that level of access into something. And y'all also know I'm a person who's very impatient. Like I
Mhm.
don't like sitting in traffic, shoot me
Yes.
dead.
Yes.
Like those types of things. I'm just like I got better things to do with my goddamn
Yes.
time than
Yes.
do those things. I have better things to do with my time than sit in the fucking line
Yeah.
for 20, 30, 10 fucking minutes. It's just
That's
the way that it is. And so if you have access to help me get into a goddamn bar, restaurant, club, whatever, because of your name, feel free to take me with your ass. I'm going.
no, that's because I've gone home because I've seen a line. Like, oh bitch, no, not today. Happy
Not
birthday.
or tomorrow, bitch, or tomorrow. I'm not doing that.
No.
Especially when you've driven 30 minutes to get to a
Hello.
place and it takes you
Hello.
40 minutes to get into the place. No,
Hello.
I'm not doing that. Not doing it. Nope.
Not at this big age.
Not at this big grown age. I'm
Not
not
at this
doing
big
Yeah.
that.
age.
And you
I
know what?
I
It's
don't
so
go places that
funny.
don't take reservations. Child.
Yeah.
If we can't get a section, don't invite me. If you don't have a section, don't invite me. If I can't get a section when I get there, don't invite me.
Let's just think about, wait a second. Let's just think about in DC where we went to places that required, or it was like we knew it was popular. What did we do? Bitch, we made reservations.
Very
Hello.
true. Very
Because
true.
I'm not sitting in line waiting for what could possibly happen when I get there. I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not
ma'am.
doing that.
Mm-mm.
Not doing that. So yeah, no. While I agree with Kevin Lee and what he did and the principle behind what he did for what he does, I get
Mhm.
it. But feel free to pull my big ass into a restaurant from an hour wait to a 5 minute wait. I will surely stand my ass there and wait until you
Yeah.
seat me in 5 minutes. That's just me.
I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right, friend. Seat me fast, child.
Seat me
Seat me
fast.
fast. Don't don't leave me waiting in the lobby or at the bar. And if I'm at the
Okay?
bar, give me the full menu. Don't give me no bar menu. Let me just get my shit here. And I could go. I'm fine. I don't need the table. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good with them candles. Keep them candles. Give me the full menu at the bar, and I'm good. Like, no, I'm
Okay.
so like,
Baby, sit me down. Tell me your name. Give me the menu. Read what the specials are. Because here's the reality. And if we're being honest, when we go out to eat, we don't just go out to eat for the food. We don't just
Right.
go out to eat
Right.
because we don't want to fucking cook. We go out to eat for the whole experience.
Yep. Very true.
That starts at the time that I'm in line waiting to get the fuck in this place.
Very true.
Until the moment where I sign that motherfucking check and walk my ass out the restaurant or out the place, there is a whole experience that I am expecting.
Or sometimes that experience starts when I'm on Google looking your ass up. That experience can start there. Because if Google said that you're open, but I get there and you're closed, we got some issues. We got some issues that don't need tissues. Like,
or when I go to Google and it says you at a 3.5 stars because of all of the reviews that you're getting, and because the food is horrible, or the wait time is all of this. Now, I will also say that sometimes people are petty as fuck and decide to go on Yelp and go on Google and just click shit and give you bad reviews just for the sake of giving you bad reviews. I get that also. But to your point, Chef, that like all of those things we take into account when we're thinking about the restaurant, we're thinking about where we go, the food, that we thinking about all of that. And I saw something too that somebody was like, oh, in fact, the same story. The first restaurant that Kevin Lee went to go sit at, the Milk and Honey, the owner apparently said that people don't go to restaurants for the experience, they go for the food. And that's a whole motherfucking lie. I can get food at my own motherfucking house that I know ain't gonna be salty, that I know gonna be cooked to my liking, that I ain't gotta worry about potentially sending it back and getting it spat in because you mad that I sent it back. All of those things I ain't gotta fucking worry about or be concerned about if I cook at my own goddamn house. But I go to your restaurant because I want the whole experience from beginning to end. I want great fresh food. I want good service. I want you to be like, oh, is there anything else I can get you, Torian?
Right.
The fuck, you better know my name. Yes, I do.
Everything plays into each other. Everything, the atmosphere, the ambiance, everything. I tell my team all the time, I could cook the best motherfucking food that is on point. If the service is shitty, the food is now shitty. And on the flip, I could make some bullshit and send it out there. And if the service is amazing, they're going to eat that shit up, and it might still be some bullshit, because now bullshit is hard to hide bullshit, but they won't complain about it. They'll deal with it. They'll give you grace, because it's like the service was just so amazing that tuna now tastes like lobster. But bitch, we know it's tuna.
Okay.
Albacore.
And also, I'm a person who tips.
Yes.
Yeah, I tip.
I start at 20%. That's the start.
We talked about that here.
And before. You go down or you go up, but the start is at 20.
Can I rant real quick though? Because you just brought up a good point. Because I'm about to rant. In this day and age, everything has a tip to it. When you fucking pick up food, when you order food, like, and I'm not saying order on an app. Like, literally, I go to this breakfast spot every morning.
And they ask you for tip.
And the thing asks me for a tip. And I always say skip. But I'm like, sometimes I feel bad. And there's this other place I go to often. But like, I go get these wings from this other place. And my order is usually like $31 to $35. Bitch, I'm not tipping you. What are you're doing your fucking... I went and got a beef patty from the beef patty truck, okay, that they have now out here. And the one beef patty was $7.
For what?
Yes.
For ground beef wrapped in a motherfucking bread?
That has to be a shrimp patty. You must have a shrimp patty.
And here's the thing. A lot of the fucking stuff is like, when you put your card in, it's kind of like self-serve. You put the tip, all this shit. This was different because I gave this guy my card and he had the machine and he swiped it and then gives me my card back, turns the machine around where it says tip.
Gratuity.
And I'm like, I'm only getting one beef patty. Why am I tipping you? What have you done? It is part of your whatever you get paid. It is part of your job to me, I just think everything is a tip now. When you go to the massage people, when you go to and I'm like, I mean, now the massage people I
I
tip.
was about to say, wait a second, bitch.
Hold up.
I'm not with you when you're.
That's the only place I automatically tip.
I'm not with you when you're wrong.
I tip the massage people. But I'm just saying, the only reason why I'm thinking about the massage person is because this guy wasn't a massage. It was more of a stretch. Like he does stretch. They call him Stretch King. And he like stretches
I need one of those
out.
too.
Oh my God, he's amazing. Oh, when you come, I'll book your appointment. He's amazing. And what happened is he charged my card, and then he had, the little self-serving thing where you do tip or not. He's like, no, don't put tip. Don't put tip. No, don't worry about that. And I do know some of these machines come with that. Like you can't bypass that option.
Right.
But I don't know. Like it's just weird. Like,
or you got to go in and put 0.
Right. It's like now you're going to start asking for tips at fucking Target and Walmart and shit. Like,
I think the issue is the current climate of people. Like, if you're not providing a service, I'm not going to tip you. Like, if I'm coming to pick my food up, which means I had to use my own gas or my own way to get there to pick it up, I'm not going to provide you a tip because I called my order in, or I Googled it in, or DoorDashed it in, and I'm picking it up. If I sit down now and there's ways that, or I come and I order. If I come and I order at the restaurant and there's interaction with me and the person, and then okay, I can see there being like a tip jar or whatever available if I want to tip. I think that the current climate that we're in is like you have to tip,
you're forced to tip,
and you're like forced to tip for some bullshit, or like I think sometimes like even with like these food apps, it's like they automatically want you to tip, but yet they charge you a delivery fee. And it's like, wait, what am I tipping for? I'm paying for my food. You already upcharged me.
Yeah.
You already upcharged me on my food. And I'm paying for the delivery of said food, depending upon where it's being brought from. If it's further, it's more of a delivery charge than if it's closer. So why do I have to now turn around and tip you at the start of 6%? Like, it's like, no, I'm tipping for a service. If you're not providing anything, you're not going to get a motherfucking tip. Like,
yeah. So I agree. I think what, and this goes to our previous conversation when we talked about the Newsom situation, right? And them and Newsom upping the minimum wage, right? It goes to that, right? Because the idea is that you have to be tipped to supplement what you're getting paid, right? Because you're not getting paid where you should be getting paid, because the expectation is that you will get tipped for the service. But I think that a part of it is, to your point, Chef, that like the delivery fee that we pay just to order our food doesn't go to the driver who picks up our food and brings us the food.
Exactly.
And so our tip actually goes directly to the driver, not to the business. But my concern is this idea that I have to prepay for my tip, because I've been in situations where people don't drop my motherfucking food off and I've already given you a 20% tip. Or you bring me my order and my order is wrong. I've already delivered I've already paid the delivery fee. I've already given you a goddamn tip and my goddamn order is wrong. Right? And then when you're on certain apps, the certain apps feel like you have to send pictures, you have to do this, you have to do that just to get a fucking credit. And you still have to buy more food because you ain't got the food, because you ain't eating the food that came wrong. And so I think that there has to be a balance, especially with DoorDash recently posting like, drivers are choosing not to pick up orders that don't give you a tip.
Yeah,
But the
they're going
reality
back.
is,
Mhm.
if you deliver my motherfucking food without me having, I hate when people, I'm a person who gives instructions on how to do the things that you need to do to
Mhm.
get me my goddamn food. I cannot stand it when people call me or message me on the app and like, I've arrived. My response is always, please follow the instructions I provided you to deliver my food.
You
Because
make
you
them walk
take
up
extra
that
time.
stairs?
Well, you take extra time out
Yes, because I'm
to
already giving
do.
you 20%. That's a part of your delivery fee. It's coming up them goddamn stairs and giving me my goddamn food.
Oh,
As well
so
as you actually have to sit down and go through your stuff and like put that in, like, okay, come up the stairs, I'm here, leave it at the door. Or so I took time out to make it clear for you to know what to do, and you bypassed it and are now calling me to say, oh, I'm outside. No, follow the directions that I already put in the goddamn app. Like, I said,
Mhm.
drop it off at my door. Drop it off at my door. Like, I don't like the whole idea of having to tip before the service is provided, which
Yeah.
is what DoorDash is like trying to force their people to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I didn't receive this stuff yet, my tip is based upon my experience,
Mm-hmm.
my overall experience. And now if the food get here and the food is bad, I may still tip the driver because I know that
Right, because they have nothing to do
that
with
has
it.
nothing to do with the
Mhm.
driver. It has nothing to do
Yep.
with the driver. Now, if you pick my food up and now it's like you're going all over the world because like this app is sending you all over the place. I'm unfortunately I'm not going to tip because the app really should make the delivery go to the fucking drivers because they're the ones that's driving around delivering the food. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's some things where it's like okay, it's out of my control. Like no
But
offense, but
how do they get their fee? How
you
does it?
chose to drive for these people. I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
some food. Like
But see, here's
I'm
my
sorry.
thing. Here's my thing. One, the company, they have to think about their profit too, right? So it has to be profitable for
Mm-hmm.
them. So I understand, and I don't order from any of these apps, so
But they charge a
not
service
my
fee.
ministry.
They charge a
But
service fee for the company. There's a service fee and a delivery fee.
I got you.
And
But
I also pay for the Uber One
yeah, because
And,
my shit.
monthly.
and I pay for the Uber. Come on, Torian.
Go ahead,
Come
Jay. I'm
on.
sorry.
So maybe I think there's a few ways that you can slice it, right? Because we just talked about, how DoorDash is basically saying that if you don't add a tip, and this is what I read, if you don't add a tip, your delivery will have a slower delivery time or
Mhm,
Right.
longer delivery time.
mhm.
Right.
So the people are able to pick and choose
What they pick up.
what
Right,
they
which will
pick
affect
up based
food
on,
Right.
quality and things like
which
that.
to me I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I get you all's point, but everyone is not like y'all, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I know, I mean, how many times have we been out with friends and we talked about it on this podcast where they don't tip, they don't, and the thing
Right.
Oh,
is,
they don't pay.
you don't know these people won't tip until you actually deliver the food.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a risk, and sometimes that risk could be, bitch, this is my last this is my last quarter tank of gas, like, or whatever. So I think, I think there's a better way that they can manage it where they're like, all right, this person is a Uber One member who has a history of tipping. Like I think there should, I believe in rewards, right? I believe in that system, right? And maybe there's a system that's like, I'm rewarding you because what what's happening is they're leaving it up to you to pay the driver because they're only paying
Right.
these people.
That's the
And I
problem.
feel like that's where
They're
the issue
they're
lies. The issue
they're
That's
lies
the
they're
that it's
only
not
problem.
up to
paying
the
these
customer.
people $3, $2,
Right.
$4,
Right.
$5 based on but they're leaving it up to you to pay them. Um, but I think maybe there should be some reward system where it's like, all right, if I know Torian, you're tipping 20% every delivery, you're helping my company out, you're helping our drivers out. Here's how I show appreciation. There's a platinum member, there's a VIP, there's a here's some free perks. And I know Uber gives you that stuff already, when you're
Does.
especially a Uber One, but maybe there's some there's another level to that or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I hear, because I mean, I have friends that do, a lot of my friends, especially out here, they do DoorDash and Uber and all that stuff. And they be mad as fuck because you'll have somebody that say walk 5 flights up the stairs and they only tipping you 2%, or 6%. And you gotta park your car. There's no parking. You have to walk up the stairs. Then you gotta walk back down the stairs. You gotta, like it's just it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I'm
So
of the
my thing is,
mindset.
go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And
Go
I
ahead.
have a question because I don't use these apps. So when say there's a discrepancy with the food and stuff and you seek a refund, do you not get your tip back?
No,
Okay.
you
But you
don't
get
get
your
your
money
tip back.
back
You don't get
from
You
the
get you
restaurant.
get the
you get
cost for the, right. You get your cost from potentially. Let's also be
potentially
clear.
get your cost back
Potentially,
or a
you may get it,
fraction.
but some places require that
Hmm.
you send pictures and you do
Yes.
all this other stuff.
Hmm.
Now, currently, I have Uber One.
Hmm.
Currently, because there's been so many times where there were issues with my delivery. Every time I get a delivery, I have to give them a code
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that verifies that I got the food.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't account for the inaccuracies in my
Right.
goddamn food that
That
I
just
ordered.
accounts for you receiving the food.
It just accounts for me of receiving the food. And here's the other thing too. We talked about it already. I'm impatient. I always get priority delivery, which is additional
And that costs more.
$2.99 for that priority delivery, which means that you may be going to all these different restaurants, picking all of these different fucking orders up. You're bringing me my shit first.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, that's an additional $2.99 that I'm paying on top of my 20%, on top of the delivery free, on top of all of these things. And so it's like on top of the upcharge that you as the business is adding
Mm-hmm.
to, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been in situations. I love Matchbox here in DC. If I order off of Matchbox, off of if I order off of Uber Eats, Matchbox, it adds at least $4 more to my meal that I order from Matchbox. If I go to Matchbox's business website and order it, I get it as if I'm ordering from the menu at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then all they do is have DoorDash deliver it to me.
Right.
And so it's like, in that instance, I much rather go through the website because I'm saving some money, which means that you get more access to more money
Right.
when you
Yeah.
deliver it to me.
Domino's
But
is like
there's no
that too.
reason why I'm paying 30 motherfucking dollars, which 10 of that is an upcharge on my meal,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
and then paying all these extra fees and still am expected to pay you 20% in your tip. Like, come
Yeah.
on now. That is a bit much.
I think it has to fall into the drivers deciding like, okay, well, maybe I won't drive for DoorDash because they're not paying me what they should without the tip. Even a tip is a tip. Is exactly that. It's icing on the cake. It's not your wage, is not your, you know what I mean? It's not what your tip shouldn't reflect like, okay, well, I did all this work. No, it should be the icing on the cake. So you should already be paid fairly before the tip even comes into play. So if
Right.
I'm not, if DoorDash isn't paying me fairly because they're relying on these tips, maybe I won't drive for DoorDash. Maybe I'll only drive for Uber, or I'll drive directly for the stores, because
Yeah.
that becomes the thing too. Is like, you're paying a service fee, you're paying for priority delivery, you're paying for the delivery fee, you're paying an upcharge for just ordering it through this app. Is like,
Yeah.
okay, so now me as the consumer who wants to be lazy and sit the fuck on my fat ass at home, do I want to turn around and tip? No, I don't, because I already fucking paid for everything. Like, what else are
Hmm.
you doing? Are you showing up with flowers? And maybe I'll tip then. But like, I think like people have to take it into their power now with these apps. Like, okay, well, maybe I won't drive for you if you're not paying me a fair wage versus this other, app that will pay me a fair wage for my
Yeah.
time. Because time is money. Ultimately, that's all it is time is money.
And so is the experience. That's fucking money too.
Mm,
Hello.
And if I have
hello.
to wait for you, because I've had situations where I literally am having to call the damn driver because they're going in the opposite damn direction or on the wrong street. And then I have to now give you instructions on how to get to my house, and then you want to get here, and then you're like, oh, how do I get through the door? Read the fucking instructions. The instructions are clear on how to get in the damn door. Or I had somebody was like, oh, can you come downstairs? No, I cannot come downstairs. I didn't give you a tip, a 20% tip for me to come downstairs. I didn't do that.
Or the
No.
situation that I dealt with in DCJ when I ordered that food and I had to like literally, not being from DC, go downstairs and direct this woman on how to find me.
Very true.
Am I going to turn around and tip you on top of the inconvenience of me looking at this map like, okay, make this right? What street you want? Okay, all right, make that left. Like, come on.
Think about DC in our order from Domino's. How I made my order before y'all made the Chinese food order, and y'all food came before mine did. A good time before mine came.
Like, one of the perks of that was that it because you ordered through Domino's is like a little cheaper, but it still doesn't okay the fact that they took forever to bring your shit.
And I still gave you a 20% tip on what I ordered. What I ordered, I gave a 20% tip.
I'm happy the stuff was still hot and toasty though. It was good.
It was okay.
That cheese was cheesing.
But I hated the fact that I had to motherfucking wait that long to get my damn food, especially under conditions.
You're right, and that's part of the experience. So it's like, should I tip after you then gave me this sour taste in my mouth? Like, I don't even know if I want this damn pizza no more because I had to go through all of this to get it. Like,
and because I tipped you before you delivered it, it's not like I can go back and say, give me less of the tip because your ass took too long to give me my food.
That part
I can't do it, which is why I said earlier that no, I don't feel comfortable with giving the tip beforehand. Because you're always going to get 20% from me. I mean, in some situations, I get it because some situations, again, I paid $2.99 for priority delivery.
Yeah.
But if I'm going off of your website, Domino's, and it still takes me 35 to 40 minutes to get my damn food, no, I want something back from that 20% that I just gave your ass for the delivery fee.
And to Jay's point earlier, they could do it in like a rewards program or give you an extra 10 points towards another pizza. Like it should be little loopholes like that. Like even with Uber, like if you get your food after the allotted time, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna knock this off of your food and you won't have to pay for that. So like all these things make sense. But if they're depending on people to tip ahead of time, a person like me who practices not to tip ahead of time, I would never get good service because I don't tip until the service is completed. I'm not tipping for something that I have not received.
Yeah.
I don't have that good luck. I'm the bitch that tip ahead of time and my shit don't come at all. Like, shit. One night they took my damn lobster. I was like, you know what? I had a feeling they would take that shit. I don't want a fucking seafood boil on a Friday, bitch. It was like, I have a feeling they took my shit. 10 o'clock at night, I probably would have took that shit too. Bitch.
Oh my God.
I hope you shit blood. But I'm sorry. I had a little flash. I had a little moment.
Not ow.
I had a little moment. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Well, listen, guys, let us know your opinion on this topic. Dasher, Uberer, whatever there is.
Deliverer.
Hallelujah.
I'm delivered.
Thanks for tuning in to Catch My Black and Gay podcast. Follow us on all social media platforms at Catch My Black and Gay.